Welcome to Coach on the Couch. I'm your host, Jason Zaleski, and we are on location at Loyal High School today, visiting with Loyal Greyhound softball coach Randy Montalvo. Coach, thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, we're on location, so Coach on a couch and Coach on a table, as it turns out here for this one. We're gonna have a good time with Randy. We're learning a little bit about Greyhound softball, learn a little bit more about Coach. So with that, Coach, tell the audience how long you've been coaching softball here, and then what keeps you coming back.
This year is my third year with softball. This is my fourth year at Loyal High School. My first year was with Greg Brock and doing baseball, and then they needed a softball coach, so they kind of asked me to coach, and I did it in Hawaii. So I did both in Hawaii. It's a different season, so it's not like it was my first time ever coaching the girls softball program. Enjoy it. I really don't have any intentions of going back, to the boys, just because if I'm not, the head coach, I definitely want to help out the program and do as much as I can. What keeps me coming back is, obviously competition. I enjoy coaching. I like the competition when I was as a player, and even more so as a coach. Getting the girls to get a little better every day. I think sometimes we focus so much on winning, and then we kind of miss the journey. We don't enjoy the process of getting better. And the reason why I still do it is because my coaches made it fun for me. I never saw baseball as a chore, and I told the girls, I said the biggest reward for me would be to have them come back as coaches someday. You might win a state championship. I mean, there's only one team that does per division, but I think more importantly to appreciate the game, love the game, and maybe give back someday. And with that, the learning process has to start and has to continue. So we try to get better every day. We work on our weaknesses. And the teams, it's not like we can go out and recruit kids. So we get dealt with the hand that we have. And let's just work and continue to get better individually and as a group.
Well, I know the school and the community is very fortunate to have you as you stay active in athletics all year round. Every field, court, whatever we go to, you seem to be there. So, so the school and the community are very fortunate to have you, Coach, and we appreciate you too. So, as you look back at last year, 2018. Just kind of, what are some of your favorite memories from last year, and then a couple of those kids that they were seniors that graduated the team, as you think back on them?
Yeah, well, last year we had one. We had Brianna Ray Horn. She was the only senior on the team.
Okay.
Vocal, as far as leadership goes. Miss her a lot. I mean, she comes back on her days off and she'll help. She'll work with the catchers on their blocking and pop-ups for throws. And again, that obviously we must have done something right if she still enjoys it, and she's coming back, hey, coach, you need help. And so she'll jump in the cage and maybe even give some underhand toss or something like that. So having them come back and help us, that's a reward for us, and as well as the younger players. Our catchers right now that we have on varsity, one's a freshman, Zeta Brock, and Alyssa Reith is a sophomore. They do play during the summer, so they have some experience, but I think, Brianna was a strong athlete. I mean, just strong arm. I mean, she could shut down the running game, and she did. And they moved her to as a catcher before I started. I had her as a junior and was always amazed by her energy, and very happy. And I think she was thinking about playing for the Pointers, and she's at Stevens Point.
Yeah.
So that would be great for her to go out and do that. I mean, she can hit, she can throw, she can do a lot of things. So I encourage her to try just to see what it's like at the next level, and I hopefully she does. Again, even if it's just to gain some knowledge and then come back and coach someday. You always want to. I do. That's my goal, is to get them to come back and coach. Maybe not just here, but wherever they're living. So yeah. So that's some fond memories there with her. She always a good time. And I mean, they would come over, and they would come over to the batting cage at Sandlot and hit in the mornings or something like that on the weekend if they were in town, and they would text and say, hey, can we come over and use the batting cage, and whether their dad would bring them or they would meet me out there and we'd work on doing some hitting drills or something like that. Yeah, the reward was my wife Angela would make pancakes for him. So we haven't done it yet this year, but the weather hasn't really permitted us to do a whole lot anyway. But so good times there, and yeah, we miss. I know I personally I miss her a lot too. So yeah.
Good. Well, 2018 sounds like a good time, but we're here in another good time. 2019, the season is here. We saw you on Saturday over in Altoona. You've played a couple of games, so we haven't had as many as we would have liked. All of us, even
Right.
on this side of the table. I like to go out and get in the groove too. What do you know about your team so far here in 2019?
I tell you, I'm really pleased with our seniors.
Mhm.
You know, as far as the energy level, and it's hard because we're stuck indoors, and we talked
Yep.
about it Saturday. I mean, we have not yet played or practiced on a field for other than the 4 games that we had. We have not been outside on a softball diamond, so it's really hard to do the cut system and the lineup, you know, all of that things that we need to do as a team to kind of feel for where we're at. But our seniors have kept the energy level high, and which surprises me. We just had this conversation with some of my coaches. I'm like, man, we've been stuck inside, and you know, you can kind of tell the attitude maybe is like, oh, here we go again. You know, we're throwing rubber balls in a gym instead of real balls out. You know, so it's a grind in that part. But I think, you know, hopefully the weather stays good. I know we play a bunch of games this week and next week, and hopefully we can, you know, I'm hoping we don't make the same mistakes we made last year. And,
Sure.
and kind of so far in the games we have. I mean, a couple of throwing errors. You talk about dropping fly balls. I mean, we can't do it inside, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
just the repetitions of getting out there and hitting the girls' pop flies and being able to run on a dry field. I think that's going to be. We're really looking forward to that. Maybe tomorrow we can get out there. We don't have a game tomorrow before we play Thursday and a doubleheader on Friday. So at least get one day outside, at least on our own field.
Yeah, right. Well, like I said, we're on this side of the table. We're really looking forward to the season. We're a few games into it as well. Guys, you're watching Coach on the Couch. I'm the host here, Jason Zaleski, talking to Loyal Greyhound softball coach Randy Montalvo. At live games available all season long throughout Central Wisconsin. You can find those at ZaleskiSportsShow.com. Click Live Sports or on Focus.News/sports. Highlights also available on Facebook. We mentioned we went out to Altoona, got some highlights. The Greyhounds, you can check those out after you're done watching this. Coach, now as we kind of look down the road a little bit, I know it's tough with only so many games here, but you can talk about the expectations you have for the whole team and then expectations you have for the seniors here this year.
The seniors to continue to lead our team, continue to keep that energy level. Again, sometimes we focus a lot on winning and losing. Those are byproducts of good habits, practice. You know, minimizing your mistakes, trying to maximize the opportunities on their mistakes. And I think if we just play our game, which we got some good players, so if we can play our game, minimize the mistakes, and maybe put some pressure on their defense, I think good things are going to happen. You know, I don't necessarily evaluate the season by how many wins because you just never know. Other teams might be down, and all of a sudden, hey, you beat a team that, or you lose to a team that you should have beaten, and a lot of times, sometimes other teams just play well. So I mentioned this to the girls the other day. I said, I don't mind even if we didn't win another game. I'd like to see us play up to our ability. Let's again catch the ball, throw the ball, make some tags. Let's put the ball in play and have fun doing it. And I think the winning and losing part of it is a byproduct. So I don't think we necessarily put a number on or look ahead and say, hey, we should be 7-5 or however many games we should be in the season. I think we just play one game at a time, and if we make a mistake, let's learn from it. I don't like it when, like last year, we kind of fell into a trap. It seems like the same mistakes were being made all over and over, and that's frustrating. It's frustrating for the girls, and it's frustrating for us. We played our first 6 games without practicing on the field, and if we don't get out tomorrow, it'll be 8 this year. We'll play 8 games without practicing on the field. So I know the weather is, like you said, we're all looking forward to it. I hope it stays great, but I think we need to kind of get on and start to apply the things that we do practice indoors, and hopefully that transition into having an exciting softball game, throwing strikes, running the bases, putting the ball. Those are some fun things, you know. If we our pitcher's struggling, we walking, and then the defense is on their heels, and then it's not a fun time, you know. And the weather, you know, you talked about yesterday. I mean, man, we didn't play.
Yeah.
Watching I mean, it's hard to stay on your toes when the elements come into play. And I'm from Hawaii, so I'll tell you, you get down below 60, and I'm like, how do they do it here?
Right.
You know, that's a rain day for us. We're done. It's a snow day in Hawaii. So, yeah, it gets harder and harder. But you know, they grew up here. They know what it's like. They've played for years and years. So, but nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to get out there when it's you know cold.
Right. Well, I think we're in the clear now going forward. We shouldn't have any more snow. You may have the occasional rain out, but I think we're in the clear here going forward. You mentioned the home games in the field here at Loyal. So when you play at home, folks go here to watch your games.
Yep.
You compete in the Clover Belt Conference, so the road games aren't that far.
No.
When your fans, parents, friends, family are out watching the games, who are maybe one or two of those girls that kind of keep an eye on? Maybe an up and comer or somebody that's just a really solid ball player. Who are a couple of those that we should look out for this year?
Well, you know, other than the seniors, which is Haley Reith and Emily Goodbrand, you know, junior Remy Geiger. I mean, just an all-around great athlete, shortstop. We'll put her at third. We'll throw her in the center field, and she can play anywhere. She's at the top of the lineup too. She can cause some havoc on the bases. She's exciting to watch. Caitlin Linner, you know, she's probably our number one pitcher going in.
Okay.
She's a sophomore. She bats second in the lineup, so she's exciting as well. She was a pretty good pitcher last year, I thought, as a freshman, and has really come a long way this year as a sophomore. She put some time in, though. They put some time in. Her mom works with them during the winter. Wendy does a nice job with the pitchers. She works with them, and then Monica comes in once the season starts.
Okay.
She's my assistant coach. So, and she worked with pitchers in Marshfield in the past with Megan Donahue and some of those girls. But you know, I think they put the time in, and it's nice to see them maybe get a little reward. You know, going into some of the games, and then just the confidence. You know, if they hit the ball and we throw strikes and we got to play defense, I'm fine with that. You know, and even Altoona, I don't think we walked. They scored 10 runs, and they deserved every one of them. And they're a good team. Yeah. They hit the ball. They bunted well. They played good defense. So, you know, I think, I'm not sure what division they're in. They might be even 2 or 3. But, I mean, they're a really good team. And that was kind of nice to play that competition. Wish we could have gave them a little bit more competition. I think it was close. You know, in the beginning, we dropped a fly ball in the outfield as well, and a couple of runs, you know, scored after that.
Yeah, but a couple unearned runs.
Yeah. Otherwise, you know, it would have been a little closer. Maybe even play 7 innings on that one, because I think they beat us 10-0 in 5. So watching her develop, and then Bailey Bravner, and then the 2 young catchers we have as well. I mean, I think all the way around, Kayla Bremer's been hitting the ball really well, and I think we put those girls together, and it seems like they know each other. It's a small town, so it seems like they get along. They communicate very well, which is nice, even if it's the wrong communication. But at least that's how you learn, right? I'd rather have them be verbal and make a mistake, and then we can kind of correct that, than not say anything and be afraid. So, and they know that I'm not going to get on them for making mistakes, right? We learn from it. Let's move on, and let's try to prevent that from happening again. So. Yeah, I think overall as a team, you know, we're solid 1 through 9. A couple girls come off the bench, and you know, whether it's base running or defense or as a pinch hit role. But yeah, it's exciting. I think we have 2 seniors and 3 juniors and a couple of sophomores and a couple of freshmen.
It's a good mix.
It's a good mix. You know, so we're not heavy in any area. My first year we had 2 seniors. Last year we had 1. So it seems like we don't have a lot heavy at the top. But it's always going to be that way, I think, here, and it's kind of nice where you got, you know, three seniors or 2 juniors or whatever, and it's just a nice mix, and they can learn from each other, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. So it's kind of nice being able to work with them, and let's work out our weaknesses, but let's continue to develop our strengths, and they're all different, which is really great.
Well, Coach, if I had any eligibility left, I'd play for you. We enjoy the enthusiasm. We really do. It's fun watching you out on the field, and we're looking forward to you and the girls here in 2019.
Thank you.
Yeah, good. Well, again, thanks for having us here at the school. Again, more Coach on the Couches coming up. And until then, Jason Zaleski here for Coach on the Couch, and we'll see you next time.